days I have to say, hey, God, let me go. I was like, Olori will say, she just wants to leave. Yes, Fridays are when I'm excited because, come on, after working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you just want to relax your Friday and make it a fun fair for you. Welcome to Family and Values on Galaxy Television, where we are streaming across all our social media platforms. Yes, Galaxy Television is your number one station where we are reaching out for the stars. Yes, a very good morning to you. It's a cold weather out there. So if you're still at home preparing to step out, the weather is a bit cold, so you could want to get yourself, some hoodie, something to just keep yourself smart and be. Don't mind the likes of us that are used to cold. Yeah, we are cold prone, Okay, yes. And you want to have that cup of beverage, but when you get to the office, just relax. Come on, it's Friday. Hey, catch a pill and relax because the weekend is just by the corner. If this is the first time you're watching us, this is Family and Values. Family and Values is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with your relationship, your family, my family, your family, everything. Like I used to say, those controversial topics you're scared of discussing on the show, on our fellowship, we discuss it, we have it, we talk about it, and of course we used to bring our very seasoned guests into the studio, people that if you want to see them outside, you pay plenty money, but here, we just bring it because it's family. We love you. Yes, that's what family is all about. Okay, yes, my name is Princess Joy Abu, and I used to say, when you see these beautiful faces on your screen, it's time for Family and Values. We are streaming across all our social media platforms. Download the Galaxy mobile app so that you can watch us on the go. Turn on your Facebook and X notification so we are on your screen. And of course, because it's Friday, someone came to the studio giving us, the Gen Z, the classic, the touch it down, kind of appearance this morning. Let me hold it there. You know what I'm already talking about. When I give you this kind of hypes, you know that I'm referring to the one and only Olori, but I call her Mama Gen Z. Good morning.
Good morning, thank God.
Thank God it's Friday.
And today you need to take some little time to appreciate the little things you've gone through this week. The little things you've been able to, scale through. The little things you may count as nothing. It looks like nothing actually to you because it's one of those things, but those little things has got content in it. They have got something that you need to look back and say, if I can get this, I know God has not forgotten me. So just take your time and just appreciate God on that. My name is Olori Adejoke David. I hope we're going to have a wonderful time together because my friends call me Olori AJ. I was your night. Hope it was splendid. Okay, smiling on him.
Yeah, for me, yesterday I attended Higher Life Revival Valley Church, Pastor Destiny Jude. Yes, 6 years anniversary, and trust me, it started yesterday. Oh my goodness, it was something else. When you see the power of God raw moving, and it continues today again, and then Sunday celebration. So come and eat rice. I'm special. If you live within Ayobo Ipaja axis, please don't miss Higher Life Revival Valley. This season, yes.
It's time for you to visit to join.
Come and visit me in my place. I'll give you rice to eat.
So that you know what it takes out to get here.
Yes,
that's why I want you to go.
Yes.
You meet and person and you'll be able to experience that. But I want to say a big shout out to Oluwasegun Ojelake Ojemuyiwa. We had in another year. He will also be walking into the 50th.
Happy birthday!
Whispers from all of us from Family and Values.
Yeah, we love you.
Loved ones from Awesome and everyone. Wish you the very best even as you walk into the future. Welcome to that club.
Welcome to the club,
And also to Oluwafe, yes. So my mess.
Is that right?
Wish you the very best and everyone who's celebrating. See, there's one beautiful thing when you appreciate people when they are celebrating. When they are alive, it goes a long way.
Yeah, it's
that
better.
You can even remember them and shout out to them. So happy birthday to every one of you and to the Olari days who actually had a wedding anniversary yesterday. They are twin. They married the same day.
The same day? Wow.
The same day, and wedding anniversary was yesterday.
So come and pay twin and dues as a twin.
Okay, somebody's calling. So if you are looking at me like this today, they call Mama Gen Z. I don't know why she I don't know how she got it.
Just go and meet Switch and let it give you the hints on how you got that name.
On that journey, you are one of them. And finally, only day Switch.
One of the people, we are the Gen Z gang.
So I decided to come in this outfit today. The weather was cold.
Yeah.
Today is Friday.
Today is Friday, you know.
Beautiful.
You're looking beautiful.
I said, wait. So today I'm coming all vibes.
All vibes, because we are ready to vibes. Yes, Fridays we try to make it very cool and calm in the studio. You know, we bring in our youths to come and give us that youthful vibes. On that note, let's go to the business of the day, because our guest is pretty seated to dish out to you what we have in stock for you today. Let's go for our mini feature. We'll be right back. But know that the question that was asked, can you be trusted? That's a very big question. I would love you to ponder all through as you watch the show and follow our conversation. That was our mini feature. Usually we give you a mini feature and intro into the conversation so that you don't look lost and have an idea where our guest and we would be coming from. Okay, this morning we'll be discussing building and maintaining trust. Now we didn't put either relationship or marriage, we put it generally, so because we want to have a holistic conversation this morning. So we will enter into relationship, come into workspace, generally everything, because we need trust around us. Even in the government, we need trust. We need to trust our leaders. You know, they need to trust us too. So that's going to be our conversation this morning. And of course, our Fridays are dedicated to our very young youths, talented ones that are coming up, because we want to hear their voice and we want to hear them speak. But this morning I have in the studio my very own person. Hey, her name alone gives me, I used to call her, she doesn't like to call her the double G. When somebody have 2G, I call her the double G. Yeah, I'll explain that. That's because we have Gabriel. Now imagine, okay. Now, for those of you who don't know, she's a broadcaster, she is a teen coach and also a life coach. This one, she's the work of all. She does everything in the entertainment industry. Good morning, welcome to the show.
Good morning, good morning, Lori. I'm fine. Thank you for having me. Same here.
Whether you're my friend or not, there's something I used to pick from all my guests, and I'm looking at this your brooch. This one is not going with you. I'm seizing it. It will be. Friendship or not, this one is good.
Pick something else.
Look at her begging. Imagine to tell you that how dear this one is, I'm picking it up, Joe. There is nothing for you to be begging me like this, Olori. I'm picking it.
I understand. That's joy for you.
Okay, welcome to our fellowship. Good to have you. I know every time I say, I'm trying to make sure that I'll be available. I'm glad to have you around it. Okay, now building and maintaining trust.
Okay.
I remember when I sent it to you, what was the first thing that got into your mind when the topic came?
When the topic came, I was wondering which aspect. Where, because building and maintaining trust, it could be from brother to sister, husband to wife,
now
employee to employee,
Government to see.
Now that's why we didn't put any clause. We wanted to have so that we just touch everywhere generally about it. But let's start with this very question, and I think like it will give us an idea, a brighter knowledge. What are the key elements to building trust? Now this is related to everybody, relationship, for anybody, brother to sister, everybody, we need that trust. But what are those key ends that is related to building trust and maintaining it?
Okay, so when the topic was sent to me and I was wondering which aspect you wanted to be on, after doing my own studies and putting my own ideas and thoughts together, I actually found out that the elements are actually the same. Whether it's government to citizens, employee to employer, it's the same. It's the same thing. And the official already has said everything. I was like, okay, is there anything like why I'm here?
Of course, there is.
So the official already mentioned everything. In elements to building trust, consistency. What you do every time you're sending a message.
Okay.
For instance, your boss sends you to get him something, and then there's a change from that. It could be as little as that. And then every time he sends you an errand and he notices you doesn't bring back change, you are being consistent in doing that. You are building, you are building this trust already. because when he finds out, he would. It's easy for him to find out. Think about it.
Yeah.
Easily have asked, just send someone else. This thing, how much did they even sell it? So in building trust or in destroying trust, consistency, you need it, and then integrity. Because what you do or what you don't do, it's all dependent on your level of integrity. How you see yourself, how you want to be seen. And then in building trust, empathy is another element. Empathy just simply means how to be human, being human. And being human, it simply means that you are able to understand another person's feelings, understand their perspective. It's not all about you. You have to understand that there is you and then there is somebody else, and they ought to be understood. Their feelings are valid. And then what other element do we have for building trust? Time.
Okay.
Time is an element in building trust.
Time.
Time is a very key element in building trust. Trust, especially when trust has been broken. In rebuilding trust, time is a key element. So you don't just expect that, and because your trust has been broken before, you don't expect it to come back to you at once. Because I know somebody watching us who, amongst our viewers, would have people who say, I have trust issues, I don't trust nobody. Well, that's because the trust has been broken before. But for those set of people, I need them to understand that in building trust again, in rebuilding trust, you need time. It takes time.
It takes time.
It takes time. My question will now come from the angle where you mentioned that in a situation whereby trust has been taken for granted or misused, how can we now look at those mistakes to avoid those mistakes in common trust? Okay, I trust you so much and I decide to let you have my car. You decide to use it, but the process of using it, there were some damages. Maybe someone bashed you from the back, or you mistakenly climbed the carpet, and you did not tell me. And this damage, my husband will see it and complain. He doesn't even like scratch on the car
At all.
Now, for you to avoid little common mistakes, just like that employer that decide to take the little change that, should I have a boss, if it's 10 naira, collect it.
I love that.
Keep them unstable.
This man is a multi-millionaire. You don't know. But he send you message, common photocopy. Remember in those days, he asked for 10 naira. Because photocopy then was 5 naira. He will ask, he will red now, he will ask for his check.
Okay.
Now, to avoid those common trust mistakes, so that you will not fall into the area, they will tell you it's a mistake.
I didn't know.
So to avoid those mistakes, what do we have to do? So that we will not be a prey at the end of the day, now devil.
Let's watch it not make you become.
How do we avoid this?
Okay, so in my opinion, there is one very simple solution to that, and it's wisdom/discretion. So there is a difference between trusting and being a simpleton. They're two very different things. So some people who think that to trust means you have to be really open and all of that. There is a well-defined line between trusting and being a simpleton. Being a simpleton there simply means being a foolish person. A simpleton is just a nice way to put it. So there's a well-defined.
I don't want to be foolish.
Yes. So there's a well-defined fence, a well-defined line. Yes. So it's either you are here or here. So understanding that, you need to understand that in trusting, that's why I said you need discretion and wisdom/wisdom, whichever one you pick, is what you need to avoid common mistakes in trust. Because with discretion, you know the extent to which you can trust a person. You know what to trust who with. So there's the who, there's the what, there's even the why, there's the when. The 5 W's and 1 H comes in there, and it takes wisdom to know that I can trust you with my car, but I cannot trust my 16-year-old with my car. Yeah. I have a friend or a church member, and the way he drives, everybody knows that this guy's driving is always catastrophic.
Hey,
if you still give your car key to that person, you are in category simple
thing. I love that category simple thing.
You're in the antecedents that this person is like this. If you still go ahead to do that, then you have simply not applied wisdom. So that's not you being trusting, that's you being foolish. So that's why I said there's a I don't want to say a thin line, it's a well-defined line.
Fine line.
You're either here
or here.
Yes, I think that answers the question. Wisdom, you need to, and wisdom comes by learning. I have to say this, it comes by, you don't get, of course we're not born with wisdom. As you grow, you learn. So for the person who's been hurt, you have to forgive yourself and understand that wisdom doesn't come at once. That bad experience you had is something you should learn from and become wiser. It makes you wiser. So you tell yourself, okay, next time, what do I do? But if you remain in your hurt, you have not actually learned. If you learn from your mistake, learning from your mistake does not mean I won't trust anymore. If you are still in that space, trust me, we haven't picked the lesson from that mistake yet. When you pick what the actual lesson is, you now learn to trust, but now you now know how to trust.
Wow. Okay, this is getting interesting. You learn how to trust, you now know how to trust. Okay, now let's go on our word of marvel and listen to our verse from what our viewers have to say concerning today's topic, because hey, I'm on a peaceful note this morning. I don't want while I'm not breaking things. Whatever they say, we bring it here, and I guess to help us, let's go. We'll be right back.
In different ways, like how often she receives calls when I'm around, and the kind of conversation she had with people. And I will not check the phone. I don't really need to check the phone, because me, I'm a very sensitive person. If I'm close to you, I don't really need to spend much time with you. I will know that you are truthful, you are faithful, or you are not faithful. Now, if I find out that you are faithful and I have tested you and find out that you are okay, then I stamp it. That means I can trust you. Even when I travel, even when I see you with guys or someone call me and say, no, I know what she can do, because I've tested her in that environment. I know that, okay, she's a free spirit person. She's been hanging around with guys or talking with guys doesn't really mean that she's a spoiled person. Are you getting me? Depends on, someone can be free but not that spoiled, while someone can be that pretend to be decent and is a spoiled person. So sometimes why I'm saying this, because people used to address people based on how they dress, the dress look. Are you getting me? Because if my girl put on bone short now and walk along the roadside, people will think that maybe that girl, you cannot trust such girl, or the girl is a spoiled girl. Are you getting me? But me, as my own partner, I know that that dress is just a fashion. Are you getting me? That I can trust her.
Let me say 100%. The reason that there's some occasion that happened, she has already told me about it before the scenario happened himself. For example, our ex disturbing her, telling her to come back. She'll cater for her more than me. But she has already told me before that. So I trust her. For a lady to do something like that, so she should be a well-known, a well-trusted lady. So 100% of the lady, let me say 99%, they won't do something like that. For her to do that, kudos to her.
I trust my partner 100%, because ever since we started this journey in any way, so I trust him 100%. Even when I'm not around, when I'm around, I've not even one day heard that people said, I saw your husband over there. So the trust is there because he's a Christian. He's a Christian. He's a Christian. A very humble and handsome man. I trust him.
I trust my partner. That's 100%. but based on human understanding, you can only say everything depends on God anyway. But being like he do pick my call, it's not something that maybe he dodge or he hide. All the same, even if you are not around, when I call, we normally say I love you and all that, and which I believe that. Although I can't say maybe cheating, but I can't just based on, I will just use also because of love, then I'll just believe that. Let's just say understanding is there, so I trust him 100%. I trust him.
Here in the studio, because a lot of them make sense and a lot of them you're like, are you sure you can put that? But basically they were talking about trusting their partner. Somebody said 100%. Well, I'm not on that table. The other one said because he says I love you so I can believe. It's okay, all kudos to you. Everybody have their definition of trust, like Olori will say, I trust God and I believe every other person. Yes, but our guest has been telling us how to trust. Don't trust in the simplest thing. Don't trust foolishly. Let me use the word all of us understand. Let us stop, Okay, now welcome back. We've been discussing building and maintaining trust, and we have Double G in the house. Yeah, the reason I call her Double G is Gabriel. She will still explain to me why that came about. Okay, now you've listened to the Vox Pop, right?
Yeah.
But I don't want to really dwell on it because we're talking about partners, and we are talking generally now. Now, I don't want to bring in the place of empathy because you have talked about empathy. Let us talk about this angle where it concerns you and I when we talk about friendship. You notice that a lot of friendship have been broken on basis of trust. We had a guest here that once said he has had friends for 20 years and he has made up his mind that he knows you would hurt him, so he has prepared his mind already to forgive you because one day he knows it will definitely happen. Now, why is it always difficult that once trust is broken, it takes a lot to restore it back? What is responsible for that? Because I feel like I can't trust you with even the least thing. That fear of is going to happen again. That fear of how am I sure I'm not doing a mistake? Where do you get? Why is it always difficult for people to rebuild that trust once it's broken? In fact, you've seen it in marriage, in friendship, in offices, everywhere. Why is it? I'm sure you've had your own share of experience of trust, So why is it difficult?
Okay, so it hurts a lot when your trust is broken because one of the needs of humans is safety. One of our needs, not part of the 3 basic needs, but one of the needs. Your 3 basic needs are food, clothing, shelter. But then still part of the human needs is safety. And when your trust is broken, that need is where a broken trust. That's the spot it hits, where you no longer feel safe with someone or with someone or a system. But since we're talking about someone, let me use someone. With someone, that part of you is what is injured. So that's why it hurts a lot. That when you pour all your, I think this person is my safe space, and then it is broken. That part of you is what is injured. But then rebuilding trust, why it's hard to rebuild. Now, trust encompasses some virtues such as faith. It takes faith to trust, love, and everything that love defines. And in everything that love defines, if you're familiar with the Bible, you can see all of that in 1 Corinthians 13. And then it takes integrity, it takes kindness, it takes truthfulness, it takes forgiveness. So those are the basic virtues that are encapsulated inside trust. So when you're talking about rebuilding trust, you've been hurt, you find it hard to trust anybody again. Somewhere in that person who is been hurt, there is unforgiveness. Yes. And in trust, you need forgiveness. I watched there's a movie, I think it's a movie I watched where they said if you don't forgive, if you don't learn to forgive people, you'll be lonely when you grow old.
That's a deep one.
I had to learn that. It was a learning for me, I think, within the space of last year into this year. It was a learning for me because I used to be like, I have trust issues. I naturally have trust issues. Well, first of all, nobody naturally has trust issues.
that makes you have trust issues, you get.
But for the person who is finding it hard to trust, if I'm going to be honest with you, you have unforgiveness inside of you. So it's either unforgiveness for the people who have broken your trust, or unforgiveness for the system that has broken your trust, or unforgiveness for your own self.
Feeling like you gave out all that you're not supposed to. If you've not been
able to forgive yourself for a mistake you made. Remember I said sometimes when you say that your trust was broken, you were being a simpleton, you were being you did not apply
yes.
But after you've applied the wisdom and the discretion.
Yes. So when sometimes people say my trust is broken, if you really want to do a root cause analysis, you find out that person did not apply discretion. Not every time, in some cases, but I'm saying either ways, when you find it hard to trust again, there's unforgiveness there. Just to know that. And talking about virtues, forgiveness is a virtue. And now when you talk about saying I find it hard to rebuild trust, and this is not me being sympathetic with the people whose trust have been broken. Forgive me, I'm not going to be sympathetic with you on this one, but I want you to look at it from this perspective, where when you say that you can't trust again yourself, are there not people that
you have hurt,
that is hurt,
that you've broken their trust?
Yes. So
it's both ways. There's no way you will say that you have not broken anybody's trust. There's no way. It could be knowingly or unknowingly. For instance, as it stands now, I have one of my script writers that I'm still begging. Just because I omitted his name. My editor omitted his name from the movie we're producing, and I'm still begging, because that was actually the agreement. I'm still begging. In fact, I'm still trying to restitute. And he was so hurt. And to me, I'm like, I've been begging you, but somebody made me understand that people are different. Some people, the way they hold on because that is different. I expected you to do this.
No.
So when you let people down, that hurt is there. But then that's to say that there is nobody. I use that as an example to say that intentionally or unintentionally,
you've hurt somebody.
So when you hold on to say I can't trust anybody again, you will be lonely when you grow old. You will only when you go.
But nobody is going to find that space to talk.
Yes, and nobody is perfect. So in talking about that I don't know if you have that in your question, but let me just put it out there that expectations, I think if you don't know that, expectations lead to disappointment. Does that mean you should not expect? No, but manage your expectations. So that man you said that said he anticipated, that is a wise man. He is a very wise man. Anticipate it. When you anticipate it, when it happens, it's easier.
You just smile.
And you know, the Bible also tells us that when you don't forgive somebody else, God himself will not forgive you. Because when, I don't know if you've had that experience where you offend God, and by the time he now brings your conscience to understand that thing that you did that was wrong. Even you be like, look, I never knew this thing was wrong. I never knew it was a sin. You didn't know. But in his mercy, it now makes you understand that this thing you did is wrong, and then you repent. So if you are refusing to forgive, we are all humans. That's where empathy comes in. Empathy simply means being human. And being human is understanding that it's a two-way street. I will offend you, you will offend me. Let's be going.
Let's be going.
Okay, so I want to ask, in the process of not being broad with your trust, because I find that means you not be too broad. Don't give so much space.
Manage your expectations.
Manage your expectations. Just do it in a
Remember, trust takes time, and the time factor there is that you just take it, especially for somebody who's been hurt before. Take your baby steps, keep going gradually. It takes time, meaning a lot will happen in the space of time. You yourself, you will heal in that same time, and you will gain wisdom in that same time to know how to allocate your expectations with that same time.
So I wanted to ask, how do we set boundaries? What you have kind of
entered into it.
Okay. But how can we now balance the trust? In what way do you think we need to balance it? Because in the process of me trying to trust you and meeting you for the first time, and I've met Joy for quite some time, And I want to balance the fact that you are Joy's friend. Maybe Joy would have told you one or two things about my kind of person. And so I didn't see Joy around, or we are supposed to be three meeting. And suddenly I was just in my free zone, trying to feel like Joy will soon be here. We started gisting like ladies would do. And I found out that while we were talking, something happened. You were receptive. You know, the flow I expected was not what I'm getting, because Joy was not there, and Joy is your friend. You seem to be like into yourself until when Joy comes now. Until when Joy comes. Okay, yeah. Until when Joy comes. When Joy comes. You know, that kind of thing. So how do I balance my trust? In what area? How do I balance it? You are Joy's friend. We are meeting. Joy is not yet there. She's on her way. And I want to flow with you.
Okay, so balancing trust for the person who wants to flow with the non-receptive person. Okay, well, that's why
let me break it down again in another simple way.
Okay.
Yeah, ladies, sometimes we go to certain places, maybe a bar, or we go to the supermarket, or we meet at
a gathering, yeah.
And you're trying to, like, maybe you are next behind me, and me being free, or trying to like, hey, how are you? I like the way you say blah 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 blah. We start talking, and you're like, madam, please, can you please face your front? Or I think it's your turn. It's next for you to. Some people just become so like, excuse me.
They don't bring that classic unnecessity around.
I need to talk with you, and you are trying to like free-minded. Have you done something bad?
Okay,
are you bad in doing such thing to be free? You are in the public place.
So in that regard, you've not done something bad. You're being yourself. If that is who you are normally, you're being yourself. And if you used the scenario, so two perspectives to the answer I'm going to give. Number one, you can either choose to communicate further to that person who has been non-receptive, or number two, like the scenario you used, you're on a queue. There are very many other people there. If one person is not receptive to you, meet somebody else.
Move up.
The other angle where you can communicate, that's for those who want to go the extra mile, like you're determined you must get this person. You can communicate. You can just tell the person that I'm trying to talk to you, I'm trying to make friends with you, and this is this, and that's what I'm trying to do. But if you're not open to it, it's fine. Just let them know. Sometimes when you say that to the person, it lets them bring down it reassures them, and they can now let down their walls, open their gates, and say, okay, I'm sorry about that. It's all part of empathy when you are able to. That's where communication comes in. Communication there is letting the person know that I'm not trying to disturb. Sorry, I feel like I bothered you, but I just wanted to have a conversation with you. So sometimes you don't even know what that person may be going through.
That's more reason why some people will want to like.
So when you say that,
not smiling.
Sometimes that person's mind may not even be there. So when you say that, it lets them like, okay, come back home. Yes, somebody's talking to them like, oh, I'm sorry, my mind wasn't
because
there.
Everybody is on the high horse. But
on the other hand, if the person is still not receptive, there are very many other people. Move on.
Okay, there are very many other people. Move on. Now, as we're rounding up the conversation, because time is not always our friend on the show. Now, what is your final word? And this is generally to people who are out there feeling hurt. There are people that are deeply hurt. Like when they built this world around them that you can't break it. Even as much as you try, the more they are lucky back, because they've been hurt not once, not twice. It's like a repeated thing. And what's your advice generally to people out there, our viewers, and on building trust and maintaining trust, how they should go about their lives?
Okay, so a few words. Building and maintaining trust requires a level of vulnerability, and vulnerability needs you to be open. It needs you you're being open with the mindset that this thing could be used against you, but still you have to be open. And you should also understand that people will be humans. I have a friend and I asked her once, like, how do you get to still do this? You still talk to this person, and she just said, she just realized that people will be humans. And then I asked myself, what are humans? Referring to the Bible again, God himself said, the heart of man is desperately wicked. That statement busts my head every single time I think about it. The person who made man came back, looked at man and said, the heart of man is desperately wicked. So when my friend said people will be humans, it simply means anticipate. Expectations lead to disappointment. So, but when you anticipate that this thing could go south, it could go wrong, it helps you prepare and brace yourself. And to the person who's been hurt and is locked in, not willing to come out of their shell, you need to understand that if you don't trust enough, it was Frank Crane who said, if you don't trust enough, you live in torment. It's like being in a psychological cage. That's how it is. So if you want to come out of that cage, then you're going to have to learn to trust. But in learning to trust, remember, it takes time. So don't rush yourself. Heal. Take your baby steps. Start from the most basic of things and learn to trust again, because if you want to go far in life, you need people. And to work with those people, can two work together unless they agree? No. And agreeing there is trusting each other that, okay, we'll go this distance together, we'll be able to do this and this together and not harm each other. That's the agreeing, that's trust. So you need to understand that if you want to cover more grounds, if you want to do more with your life, unless you're satisfied with not doing much with your life, that's fine. But if you want to be able to do much with your life, then you're going to have to learn to gradually trust people by taking baby steps.
All right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
On that note, don't forget, take some time today to appreciate those little things that come your way. And I pray that all that you have been believing God for before the end of today will surely get to your side, and you have good reason to say, Lord, thank you for another week in the month of August. My name is Rumilulu Radujoke and David. I wish you the very best of the weekend. Love yourself, celebrate others, and don't forget, society can make you, can praise you, and also break you. So watch out.
Okay, yes, it's been a wonderful week for me and Olori, and all to our guests. We are saying thank you for gracing our fellowship. Thank you, Gabriela. Thank you, Double G, for, you just brought in another side of trust. It makes me feel like, okay, it's time to just let it go. Just let it go. Yeah, I know a lot of you are feeling that way. That's what family is all about. That's why the show is here, to give you that safe landing wherever you find yourself. Once a very big thank you to our president, to the head of station, Mr. Taslin, to our head of programs, Oga Adewale, to all the editors, to A, and to Johnson and K. We appreciate you for making this production a wonderful one. Master Control Room, we are not forgetting you. We are saying thank you. To everyone, we are saying thank you for making this week a graceful one for us. Next week is going to be another exciting one, as Olori will be taking us on the show. And like you've heard from our guests, trust, but trust wisely. That's what I'm going to tell you. Of course, and with discretion and wisdom. When you're trusting, remember those two, discretion and wisdom. That's what she's trying to tell you. For me, it's going to be a wonderful weekend, because I'm going to be fellowshipping with Higher Life Revival Church, yes, as they're having their 60th anniversary. Come and eat rice with me. That's what I'll tell you. Have a wonderful day. My name is to remain enjoyable. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.